Okay. So Oscar's gone this morning, so I wanted to include do a video here. So let's talk about the test. Test is worth 56 points, as you can see. There are 7 matching. Here's a little hint for you. 6 of the 7 of the names begin with the letter H. There's a bunch of H's.
You should have the last name somewhere. He's got the last name.
7, 6, 7, 7, or 8.
Yeah, you gotta know them by the first name, only. Yeah, no last name. You gotta know, I'm kidding. All right, multiple choice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Multiple choice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fill in the blank. True and false. 7. Worth 1 point each. Okay, now the fun begins. Okay, I have 6 4-point IDs. Okay, so an ID, have you had IDs before, like on tests? Identify. So basically, when you identify something, you tell me everything you know about it. Who, what, where, when, how, why. Then there's a 2-point short answer and a 3-point short answer. Okay. So during the lectures, I tried to tip you off on a few of these, yes? So you're paying attention. You can kind of see the last 3 down there on the bottom of your review sheet. Now, your other IDs are going to be made up of acronyms and other things. Okay, so, good morning.
Good morning. I was in Father Ed's room. He said it would shoot you an email.
Okay. So I just kind of started talking about the test. I'm recording this, so if you want to go back and watch the first 5 minutes, you can. Okay, so let me talk about this real quick. These dates on the elections. Okay, we did this a little bit yesterday, kind of wrapped this up. But, okay, so what do I have on there? 32. Okay, obviously 1932, Roosevelt's elected. Yes. 34, which is kind of rare. In a midterm election after a new president, the Democrats gained seats, and then 36, Democrats took control, right, of both houses of Congress for the first time since the Civil War. Okay, so that was a big one, and Roosevelt had what kind of tuxedo? He had coat tails, okay, and then in 38. For various reasons, including the Roosevelt recession of 37 that bled into 38 and the purge of the Democratic Party of conservative Democrats, the Democrats lost a bunch of seats. Obviously, in 36, Roosevelt was reelected, yes. Okay, Grace. CWA. That's on there. We didn't talk about it. See it on there? CWA. Civil Works Administration on your review sheet. Okay, that was run by Harry Hopkins. CWA run by Harry Hopkins. Which might help you to answer one of the matching questions. Yes? Okay, Grace, you said you might have had another question.
I was about 34.
Okay, got it. Okay. Anything else? Any other questions? How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Well, thank you. Okay, so, Monday, test. Okay, yeah, good. Oh, let me talk about this real quick. I have on your, book review, October 7th, okay, as figuring out what you're going to, how you're gonna present your material. Are you gonna write a book review? Are you gonna do a double entry journal? We talked about that. You guys asked about that, we covered it. Or are you gonna do some type of, presentation? Yes. Depends on your makeup of your book. So, was it this class? I went through it just recently. Okay, let me go over that with you real quick again, because I did it for fourth hour. I had some students ask about it. Yes. All right, so with the double entry journal, okay, 1/3, 2/3 of the page, summary and analysis. Okay, so with these, with all of the presentations or papers or whatever you choose to do, it's a review, not a report. Okay, so what you're doing is analyzing the work, the author, their style, the research they did, the historical accuracy, if that's a thing, because obviously some of you guys are reading historical fiction, but there can be some historical accuracy with that for sure. Okay, so what I don't want is a lot of summary. Now, depending on how your book sets up, some books you read may have chapters that are like 6 pages long or 8 pages long, and I don't know if you want to stop every 6 pages and do this. Okay, so one way to do it is like take the first 25 pages. It doesn't have to be exactly 25. It could be a good stopping point for you, but around that many, you probably don't want to go broader than that. Okay, and then your analysis is what I'm looking for more of. Okay, and then page 26 through 50. If it does set up chapter 1, chapter 2, you can do that. Okay, now what are you doing here? You're summarizing what you read, okay, and then you're talking about the things that you thought about while you were reading it. Okay, I mean your analysis, what was going through your mind about it, okay, whether it's you know, the foreshadowing of the author or the character development of the author, the boredom that is coming out of this book, how dry it is, just, you know, these sorts of things in your analysis, okay? So if you were to do like a PowerPoint presentation, okay, same thing. Yeah, you're going to talk about, you guys remember we just read that book review the other day, right? And the author uses quotes from the book. The author gives his opinion of the author of the book review gives his opinion of the author's thesis, what their, you know, what their main points are, and either agrees with that or disagrees with it or supports it, or so you can quote from your book. I think that's a good idea, because when you're trying to give me, the reader of your review, an idea of whether I want to read this book or not. Okay, so you might use a quote to give an example of the author's style, if that makes sense. Okay, if you want to quote somebody else's book review over your book, okay, and it's not bad to read other people's review over the same book you're reading, you just can't copy and paste it. You just use you can use what they thought about it to help you think about it, okay? And you can quote those people as well if you choose, okay? So the book review paper would be about 1,000 words, okay? 3 to 5 pages, so about 1,000 at a minimum. I think 3 pages done MLA, which I'm okay with MLA or APA or whatever you guys want to use there. Okay, I have no real restrictions on that. If you do use quotes, you should footnote it. Okay, or tell me what page you found that quote on. Yes? If you use a quote from an outside source, you'll need a bibliography. Okay? If you have the title of the book in your paper, then you don't need a bibliography if you're quoting from that book. Okay, does that make sense? So you don't have to have bibliography if you don't use outside quotes. Good? Okay. So yeah, you should include the author and the title of your book in your paper. I note that while I'm reading. If you're going to do a presentation, obviously that's something you would do as well. Okay. So think about how I want to present this review. Okay. And if you do a book review, you'll turn that in on turnitin.com. Okay. I'll set up a file for that and a link for that. If you're doing a double journal entry, you'll just turn that in hard copy. Okay. If you're doing a presentation, I would prefer that you send me the presentation. If you're going to present the class, then I can set it up for you, get it all set up. Yeah.
Can you like write double entry journal? Just paper?
It can be handwritten. Yeah. So you can get a little, notebook or something like that, and yeah, keep it in there. Handwritten is fine. You can type it as well, the double entry journal. Okay, it's up to you. Any questions on that? Cool. All right, well, I'll give you the rest of the hour to study. Okay, get ready for Monday and have a good weekend. Thanks. It's going to be a busy one already, so.